Welcome, everyone. It's Friday. That's right. Friday, and plenty of new movies have opened in theaters. Are you excited about any of these movies? Don't worry, we're here to review them for you. Alan Ng is waiting in the wings. What do we got today? Look at this. We're talking about Back to Black, The Strangers, Chapter 1, Babes, The Blue Angels in IMAX, and Ryan Reynolds in If. Directed by John Krasinski. Should you see any of these movies? We will tell you on today's show. Plus, an interview about an indie comedy. Director Chris Schrack on his film For Sale, now on VOD. You're here. Your comments and questions. I have a lot to discuss. Let's go.
Alan. You
What
changed
are
the
doing,
opening.
man?
You changed
What?
the opening. You changed the way you
mixing-
do the opening now. So
I am mixing it up. Well, what do you think? What's your review?
quicker is always better.
Yeah, I agree. I think quicker. Let's just
Except in the
start.
bedroom. What?
What? Oh, shut up. My God. Wait, what's the shirt that you're wearing?
Oh yeah. Speaking of, make Marvel.
Oh, I remember that tweet.
Yeah.
I remember that tweet. Here's my
That
shirt.
one.
I got a new one from Film Threat. It's our giant lizard from Japan inspired shirt. So there you go. Which you can get at shop.filmthreat.com. Wow, Alan. So many movies opening this weekend. And I think we saw most of them.
The movie business is in serious trouble.
No, look, this, and I'm telling you straight up right now, this might be the least exciting weekend in this year, in what is a really disappointing year. Lots of movies
will
open.
be a disappointing year.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna get into it. Because we got a lot to discuss. Wait, let's get right to our comments here. Alan will help me out. Go, Alan.
Yes. From here, I need a bigger screen. I can't see it on that tiny screen. Oh my gosh. All right, so what are we reading? Yes, the Serial Nerd is a new member. There we go.
What are the benefits of being a member, Alan?
What are the benefits of being a member? Here's the benefits of being a member. You get access to the member channel here on YouTube. There's special videos, special news items. You can even there was apparently a raffle last time we were online.
It's not a raffle, a giveaway.
A giveaway.
We posted codes for movies.
Yeah.
So we
and
gave
we
away
still don't know
copies.
Do we know what movie it was on Wednesday?
Yes, we gave away digital copies 4K of The Departed. So you know, we get codes, we give them to our members.
Yeah.
What else?
All right. From Jeffromatics for $5. Thank you. Chris, I'm glad you're doing well. My brother had a stroke in 2018. My dad also had one in 2020. Some scary stuff, and wish nothing but the best for you.
Well, thank you very much. I am on the road to recovery. I feel good. Every week I feel a little better, and my speech is a little better. It just sounds like I've had a couple of beers.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you sound much better today. And
but
so? I can sense the fatigue though.
Yeah, well, that's the only thing. It's not, I don't know, it's just, I'm tired, but I barely slept last night. Oh, wait, I'll read this one.
Okay.
Big Rat Killer says, are we talking about prostitutes? Oh my God.
Okay, we're not there yet.
My Achilles heel.
We're not there yet.
I can't say the word prostitute. I need help. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems like
a couple more.
The ST.
Is it? Tit. It's the tit.
I think so.
Prostitute.
Yeah, there you go. That's the problem.
Oh my God. Okay, Alan.
Okay. My Kingdom for a Film says, Alan, Chris, have you ever thought about doing a how to critique a film segment? I critique films daily as a hobby and would love to learn from you both.
Wow. I'm not going to tell you how to critique a film. I'll tell you the 3 skills you need to have. Ready? Alan, tell me if you agree.
Okay.
Tell me if you agree while you go wherever you're going.
There we go.
1, passion. There is no shortage of passion on YouTube, writing. If you're writing about film, it's because you love it. Passion. The other thing is skill, grammatical skill. If you're writing, being well spoken and be able to communicate, not talk like I do right now, but be well spoken, be able to enunciate or say prostitute, which I can't do.
You can't do it.
The third skill you need, a knowledge of film history. So say, for example, if you say, I just saw the new Transformers movie. It's the best movie I've ever seen. If you told me that, I would tell you, go see more movies. So you need a sense of film history, movies that were in black and white. And you need to know about different types of cinema, French cinema in the 60s, American cinema in the 70s. You need to know film history to give things context. So those are the 3 skills, but how to critique, it comes from your personality. Hope that helps you. There you go. Alan,
I will add one thing. One thing to that.
Yes.
Have a point of view. Have a point of view that separates you from everyone else. For me, I like to focus on story. That this works well for the fact that we do a lot of independent films that, obviously independent filmmakers don't have a lot of money. They don't have the big Hollywood budget, but what they do have is a story. That's the one thing they have control over, is story. And that's what I mainly focus on, along with everything else. Even if you don't have a deep knowledge of film history, you should have, for me, a good story is a good story, and that's kind of my approach to it. My point of view.
Yeah, that's good. I do think the weakness I see almost like always is history. People don't know film history. It's like talking about politics and not knowing American history or world history. You have to know it in context to how we got here or where a film fits.
You want to live life a little bit too. You want to experience life as much as possible.
No, that's true, because I mean, you and I are both fathers to daughters. And so when the movie deals with that issue, it hits different, in fact, a movie we'll talk about today deals with that. So we'll get into it, but life experience also you bring to that. Thank you for your question, My Kingdom for a Film. Keep reading, Alan, and thank you for that.
From MK Solid, exclusive access to Ing After Dark.
Ooh. What is Ing After Dark?
You'll have to become a member and find out. Yeah.
Keep going, Alan.
From Nick AH, you get a nice little icon next to your name, LOL. That's right. Become a member and you get that little icon.
Yep.
We got a Rumble rant from BMO Better, sub supporter for $2. Gore's word of the day: superfluous. Can you say superfluous?
Superfluous.
Okay.
Superfluous. Hey, I'm better than Beardo. Keep going here.
Okay. From another Rumble rant from Caveat Ties supporter, $1. Thank you. What are your thoughts about Film Hub?
Ooh, that's a very big question. I'll just say this: Film Hub and Indie Rights, these are distributors for filmmakers, are they're very good if you can bring your own marketing to it. The thing is, Film Hub won't do any marketing. It's just a way for an indie filmmaker to get their movie available for sale on platforms. That's it. So if you have your own marketing, Film Hub is useful. If you don't, you want to go to a distributor who has marketing. And hey, My Kingdom for a Film became a member. Thank you for that. And Nicholas Vargo, I see your comment. I'm going to hold it. So we talk about that movie, but thank you. Always like your insights. And finally, Alan.
Yeah, and finally, and we should start with this one from Lord Thoth. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, sign up as a member, and join us on Discord and Rumble. Another benefit of being a member is you get to join the Discord.
Yeah, and also being a member, your chats are highlighted. Last one here.
Yep.
Go ahead, Alan.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm clearing my throat. Deep Sith 87, member for 18 months. Wow. Not to be a Debbie Downer, but sleep is the most important thing, followed by eating healthy. I imagine it's doubly so after a stroke. Take care, Chris.
Yeah, I have been I'm very disciplined about a lot of things in my life. And since this happened to me, I have dramatically changed my diet. I check my glucose and blood pressure daily. I'm like anal retentive, like keeping track, and I see what I can eat, I can't eat. And I'm being very disciplined, and just my body is like an experiment right now, figuring out what works best for me. And you're right about sleep. I use an app that tracks my sleep. Remember we talked about it?
Among other things.
Yeah, it tracks your sleep. It keeps track and records your snores and noises at night. We did a segment on it once. It's pretty funny. But yeah, thank you for your concern. I appreciate that. So yeah. We have so many movies to review. Let's wait a sec. We're gonna pivot. Because we have so many movies. Here, wait a second.
It's a good story. It's just too damn long.
Well, says the guy who is taking his daughter to the extended versions of all the Lord of the Rings movies. You've been Gore.
Yeah, have you seen the Lord of the Rings movies?
Yes, I've seen them.
Are you even comparing this movie to one of the Lord of the Rings?
Not a comparison. I thought I gored you.
No. Am I frozen?
Yeah, you're frozen.
Yeah,
you're frozen.
I'm trying to do okay. Oh, here we go.
Oh my God, Alan. That's great. I want 9 hours of this. 9 hours. What is wrong with your internet?
I know. I'm trying this new note system and it's clearly failing on me right now.
Yeah, it's great. Looks great. You want to leave and come back?
Let me see. Yeah, let me do that.
All right. Good. Okay. I'll see you in a second.
Yeah.
Wait, this is the last time I will play this video. I promise. Last time. Leave, Alan. Leave.
I'm trying.
Leave.
I'm trying.
Come on. Just close the window and come back.
You can take me off.
Well, that doesn't matter. You have to leave the stream.
I'm trying to. I'm hitting the button and it's not letting me leave.
Oh, God. Restart your computer.
Oh, then I'll be gone for 15 minutes.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Well, hurry up.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Oh, man. I shouldn't have pushed that one.
All right.
Hey, Alan, it's working great.
Hold on, we're there.
Okay, you back? Refresh the page.
Take me off the screen.
No.
Oh my gosh. No, I'm like. All right. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, let me do that. All right. Okay. Hold on. We're there. Refresh the page. Take me off the screen. No, I'm like. Like. No, I'm 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 like. No
Just click refresh. Hey, my apologies, folks. Alan doesn't know how computers work. I'm the IT guy here. All right, he's gone. All right, quick break.
I would like to say hello to my guest, Mr. Chris Gore, from the hit YouTube podcast, Film Threat. Welcome, sir. I have a question, Mr. Gore. Many people have reported spotting you in the Bahamas having a great time, while at the same time putting all the responsibility of running your shows on Mr. Alan Ng. How do you respond to these allegations, Mr. Gore?
I don't know what you're talking about. It's so funny. Would you say that? Is there something wrong with that? Why is that suddenly wrong to do?
I mean, I don't disagree, and your fans probably don't disagree that everyone deserves to go out and have a good time, but wouldn't you agree that's a lot of responsibility to put on Mr. Ng?
I don't understand that. Why are you pointing the finger at other people all the time? Why don't you point the finger at yourself? Do a little more reading, maybe. Less time in court. Maybe that would be effective for you.
Pardon me for saying this, but you seem defensive.
I'm not being defensive. You're the one who's being defensive. Why is it always the other person who's being defensive? Have you ever asked yourself that? Why don't you ask yourself that? Is it me? It's him, right?
Alan is still not back. Sorry. Yeah. Is that yeah, this was an SNL sketch. That's true. So there you go. It's a quick break. Quick break for Alan. So I don't know where he is. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, his computer had a stroke. That's what happened. So there you go. Thank you. This one is fantastic. Hail, Chris. So yeah. Yeah, I'm a slave driver. Just have a computer that works. How about that? So Alan's in the weeds. Yeah. It says, memers, how dare you draw Fu Manchu on Alan's frozen picture? Said Darth Sith 87. So yeah, thank you for all your comments. What's with the fall guy in the background? It's a popcorn bucket. Yep, it's a popcorn bucket. Which I'll be selling at a yard sale in like about a month. Alan, how you doing?
Good. I shut everything down but Chrome. And
Yay!
Yay!
I'm works. Back. All right.
So I have no notes. So we're winging this thing. All right.
You have what?
We're winging it.
What do you mean no notes?
I'm just gonna. I can't get to my notes. So oh, I can do it on my phone. Never mind. Like when we talk about films, you have notes.
I have tabs with the movies we're talking about.
Right. And those tabs slow my computer down.
You need a better computer.
Yes. So Meta PC, if you want to sponsor us, I am all up for it.
All right. Let's get into it with our first review. Back to Black. Is it Back to Black?
Yeah, Back to Black.
All right.
Based on the song Back to Black by Amy Winehouse.
I did not see this movie. It's an Amy Winehouse biopic. So, Alan, you ready?
Yeah, almost. Here we go. Is it there?
No.
There it is. All right. Let's talk about Back to Black. I know I'm going to do this. Basically, it's the biopic of Amy Winehouse. Started off as an amazing singer, discovered immediately by Simon Fuller from the Spice Girls. And she becomes an overnight sensation. But she is a tortured artist. She's not in it for the fame. She's not in it for the money. She's in it for the art. And unfortunately for Amy Winehouse, all her songs about life and death, and mostly death, and about the tragic horrors of life, she experienced it, and that's where she got her inspiration from. And if you know anything about the career and demise of Amy Winehouse, this is it. You're watching the slow deterioration of a great artist, and that is Back to Black. I will say I think Amy Winehouse fans will like it more than everyone else. This is a very dark film. It's a lot of it just has to do with the fact that you know the ending. You know that things don't work out so well for her. You go through her triumphs. You go through her drug addiction, her alcohol addiction, her toxic relationships. I think the interesting thing about this is that there's domestic abuse in here, but it's not the husband who is the abuser. It is actually her. She is the one who kind of comes off as the toxic person in all her relationships. Her father, this is okay. So I was talking to this about Atomic Lori. There's this is a Winehouse estate sanctioned movie, so it's put out by the Winehouse family. The father comes off very good in this. Everyone else comes off pretty good. I think it. I think if there is the antagonist in this movie, it is Amy herself. And so, I don't know her story deeply enough to judge whether this is the father kind of making himself look good or whether these are actual events. But this takes the side that this was kind of Amy's undoing upon herself. And so I'll say this: I've seen my fair share of biopics, and biopics are tough to pull off because it just feels like chapters in the life of a person. Here's the scene about when this happened, followed by the scene of where this happened. This one is actually a well produced and put together very well in terms of the transitions are very seamless. And I'll say this: there's a lot of Amy Winehouse music in here. Marissa Abela, who plays Amy, sings about, I would say, 70% of the songs in it, and she's very good. And also, if you like 60s blues, jazz, R&B, there's a lot of that in here as well. So I give it a mild recommendation. I'll give it a 7 just because I am a fan of hers, and it is one of the better made biopics, but it's pretty depressing. And it's this idea of this movie is from the very beginning, it delays the inevitable. It ends badly, and you're sitting there waiting for it to all end, like watching Titanic.
How much detail does it go into with her, end, so to speak?
Her end? Well, I mean, it's kind of like she's one of those. I don't want to give away too much of the story, even though most people know this.
You all know it, right?
Yeah, but the actual end is not shown. But you see, you understand the event that led up to the end. And it kind of ends at that point, and then it just kind of goes into the obligatory end credit title sequences where it explains what happened to her.
How are the performances? Because a lot of these biopics based on the Freddie Mercury one, among others, they really sort of focus on,
I mean, I'll say
recreating performances that we've seen.
Yeah, I'll say this. I know Amy the artist. I don't necessarily know Amy the person, so I don't know if she accurately portrayed the Amy the person. But in terms of the music and performances, I mean, this Marissa Abela, I mean, she's got a voice, and I don't know how much work they put into it, but she sounded very good as Amy Winehouse as the singer. I assume it got her fairly well. From what few interviews I have seen, it seems like they got it. Again, this whole story is that tortured artist that need to live life to the fullest, and if that means taking drugs and alcohol, that's what it means. That's what you do.
Wow. So you gave it a 7, but you seem kind of like unenthusiastic.
Well, it's a sad story. I mean,
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna, that's the part about it is again, you know the ending, and you're watching everything she does, and you know where it's ultimately leading, and that's kind of where I kind of stand with this. It's not a happy story, even though this music is amazing.
Right. So a mild recommendation, a 7 from you, Alan.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go to comments. We'll start here.
All right. From interest. Let's see. All right. I've got to catch it where you are. From the Introspect M. Generally, I prefer real documentaries, but music biopics often turn out a bit better than most. Yeah, I think you had the benefit of the music in that. From Scott Christy Jones, member for 2 months. I just want to say, welcome back, Chris XX.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it.
Excuse me. Coal Miner's Daughter is one of the best biopics. Yeah, that's right.
All right. Yeah.
Does she go to rehab? What song do they play? They play the big ones. Obviously, Rehab is in there. She does go to rehab. Back to Black. Victoria. There's also a lot of the music that inspired her, and a lot of it was the 60s R&B and jazz. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. From Mob 19001. This is not a girl boss movie since it didn't end well. No, it's not. I mean, and she's, her entire life is wrapped around a man, one man or the other. St. Patrick T. I think I already saw Sid and Nancy. Sean 85. Biopics stink. Just watch the doc.
Yeah, I saw the doc from A24. You can get on VOD. I remember seeing the trailer for that.
What did you think of that one? In terms of,
I didn't see it. I just saw that. I was thinking of renting it. So hey,
it's probably sitting in a stack of screeners from awards season somewhere. From Braz Monkey, gifted 5 Film Threat memberships. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Solomon Thornton. She's part of the infamous 27 Club.
Oh, right. Those are musical people in music who died at the age of 27, which includes like Kurt Cobain, among others. It's really sad.
Yeah.
God, I remember the day. I remember the day Kurt Cobain died. It was shocking in the 90s. Wow, man. That was crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
From Uncle Remus, DC biopic, awesome. Okay. From Scott McKenzie, member for 19 months. Hey, Scott. Glad the boys are back in full review mode. Cheers.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate you. That's great. All right. Let's pivot to a different movie here. One we both saw. Actually, there are 2 movies we both saw.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Should we go here? Let's go for it, Alan. Can you flip the if? I believe in you, Alan.
There it is.
Here it is. If, starring Ryan Reynolds. Alan, what's the story of If?
Okay, the story of If is the story of a little girl named B who starts off in a loving family. Today, her mother passed away from cancer, and her father, played by John Krasinski, is about to have open heart surgery, and she's unsure. She's not sure of the outcome of that, but she loves her father dearly, and in order to take care of her, she moves into her grandmother's apartment building, where the family used to live, and where there are old memories of that family, and she tries to cope. And this young girl, because of the tragedy in her life, has seemingly grown up a little bit too fast and hates being referred to as a child. And so one evening after visiting Dad at the hospital, she walks home and followed by a weird creature, a strange creature. Creature's unseen, but she's able to kind of follow it to her apartment and to the apartment upstairs from her, where she hears the strange creature talking to an adult male, and that adult male is Cal, played by Ryan Reynolds. And long story short, we find out that Cal has been is kind of the guardian of imaginary friends who have been lost when their kids have forgotten about them. And so what Cal has decided to do is that he's going to find new kids for these imaginary friends, but doesn't know how to do it. And that's where B comes in. She decides, hey, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you match imaginary friends with new kids. And that's what this story is. It's this adventure of where she learns about the world of imaginary friends and tries to make the lives of these friends better.
And how well did they pull it off? By the way, the movie is directed by John Krasinski.
Written and directed. And he
plays the dad in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is the basic story. I mean, I think the trailers are kind of confusing. I'll tell you what my impression is. Parts of the film really got to me. The father-daughter stuff was like, oh wow, but that works. Like, I was like touched by it. And I think specifically because I also have a daughter, right? And even like, having health issues now, she's very concerned about me. So that part really got me. The movie's crap. It's like, here's why it doesn't work. In a fantasy world, you need rules, right? Monsters Inc. had rules about how the monsters worked, right? The monster in the closet, whatever. Any fantasy movie, you need. I don't know what the rules are. What are the rules? What are the goals for the ifs? I thought that the design of the ifs were kind of uninspired. They were just weird, and it wants to be whimsical. It does not work at all. I was like annoyed. I'm like, what is? I mean, like, any fantasy movie has a set of rules. Now you can change the rules. You can add a rule at the last minute. There were no rules. In Back to the Future, if he doesn't fix what's happening in the 50s, there's his, you can see he's disappearing. He's slowly, the pictures of his brother and sister are fading in the picture. There's nothing like that. No rule of like, I don't know what the ifs want. I don't know what the characters want. I don't know what the goal is. And, it's not specifically told that John Krasinski's character is it heart surgery. He's just in the hospital. Did they say heart surgery?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming it's heart surgery because
you assume
it's a broken heart.
A broken heart, right?
Yeah,
and
I'm assuming that. The other thing is he's in there for several days, and yet they don't put him in the hospital gown.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. And he has this whimsical thing. He's trying to be lighthearted with his daughter.
Yeah,
it doesn't work. I mean, but the one thing is, I will give credit. The lead actress, the girl B, really good.
She is the spotlight of this movie. She gives an amazing performance, and
really good.
And she outshines Ryan Reynolds in this movie.
True, and I thought Ryan Reynolds was okay. He's like very toned down for him. And by the way, I knew you would be happy about this. There's a little Asian boy.
Yes, who can't act. And of course, there's Awkwafina. You gotta look. Movies like this either have to have Awkwafina or Pedro Pascal in it.
Yeah, it seems like a requirement now. The celebrity voice talent was off the charts.
Yeah, and I think
Matt Damon, Bradley Cooper, Vince Vaughn, Louis Gossett Jr. His last performance.
Yeah.
Okay, Jon Stewart, Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, Brad Pitt and George Clooney.
It was the little boy Benjamin, the little Asian boy Alan S. Kim.
Oh,
he was in that movie a couple years ago.
Okay.
I remember that movie.
Well, the lead actress was Young Ray in episode 7.
Yeah. So
okay,
no, he was in Minari. He was in Minari. Alan Kim.
That's right. So
Schumer does a voice. Anyways,
of course, but here's let me respond. Let me just comment
Please.
about
Okay.
the rules. But if you look at the poster here, there's like a little flaming marshmallow there. There's a sunflower. There's this thing. There's a weird ghost there. I mean, to me, when I think of imaginary friends, I don't think of these things.
Yeah.
There's a character that's a glass of water with an ice cube in it. That's to me those are the little things that kind of take you out. They're trying to create whimsical characters, but I don't buy them as imaginary friends that kids have.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm too old to have, but these things just don't seem like imaginary friends to me, except for Blue here.
You need, even in fantasy, you need rules.
Mm-hmm.
It's in science fiction, fantasy. This is how the world works. You might have a last minute, oh, you didn't know this? Well, here's a new rule. Like, oh, that's fine. That's okay. It was never clearly defined what the rule is of this universe. And also, it was pointed out to me by my daughter. This is a complete ripoff of a TV show called Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. It's the concept. It's exactly the same concept.
Interesting. Never heard of that show.
Well, I haven't either. It's a kid show, and this is sort of the thing is, you see it reaching for the stars. This movie reaches for the stars. It tries so hard. It doesn't work.
Yeah, I'll say the moral at the end, I'm still kind of wrestling with it, trying to figure out what exactly what the deal was. I mean, I kind of understand the main point regarding B there, but in terms of this world of imaginary friends, I don't understand how we got there through the movie.
Right.
The other thing is, I feel like this movie would have been a better independent film than a big Hollywood film. I think this is way overproduced. I think you have too many big name stars in it to kind of distract you from it. And the other thing is Ryan Reynolds, his character just feels out of place because you're not looking at Cal in this movie. You're looking at Ryan Reynolds in this movie.
Precisely.
And he just seems out of place in it. And that's why I'm saying I feel like this movie would have been much better as an independent film where you have lesser known actors doing all of the roles.
Right.
And the other thing was
like actual wait, let me point this out. Like actual voice actors. I'm sick of this trend of using big celebrities in voice roles. There is a talent, skill to voice acting, and voice actors being supplanted for celebrity cachet is lame. Like it's being overused, like celebrities being used as hosts in game shows and reality shows. Like there's a reason voice actors exist. There's a reason, when you look at like the great voice actors, in cartoons and animation, there's a reason they always work. They do. So this celebrity factor, it doesn't work. And the other thing is, this movie, a lot of the themes it deals with, way too dark for kids. I can't imagine any kid liking this. Like, the other thing is, no spoilers, but you learn that the mom died, never explained. So you cut to the little girl as a kid. She's playing with her parents. Everything's whimsy and whatever. And then years later, mom's dead. Dad's in the hospital. And there you go from there. And it's played pretty serious.
This will be the one point of disagreement I have. I think this movie is made for children. I don't think this is by any means an adult film in terms of. I think everything is geared toward children and young children, and I'm not saying it's doing a good job reaching them, but I think it's made for them. All the characters here, I think, is meant to kind of tickle the make kids laugh, basically.
Yeah.
And you know, and the ending, I think kids might struggle with it, but I think they'll get it. And no, I don't think it's too dark for children. No, you know, I think we underestimate children on these things sometimes.
There were a couple of kids at the screening I was at. They seemed bored.
Yeah, I'm not saying they did a good job. I'm just saying that I don't think this. I think this movie is for children, absolutely. And I wouldn't recommend an adult going to see this movie by any means.
Yeah, there's no crossover.
Mm-hmm.
So do you recommend this movie?
I give it a bare recommendation. I put my review up on Film Thread. It's a 6. It's there's just enough for kids. I can see myself taking my young daughter to this, but that's about it.
It's a non-recommend for me. I give it a 4 out of 10. And I wanted to like it. I really like John Krasinski, obviously from The Office, directing A Quiet Place. He's a talent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he was thinking with this movie.
Well, I mean, it's a story he came up with. I'm pretty sure, you know, this is the benefits of being in the Hollywood system is you come up with a story and they'll give you money to make it.
Yeah, well, there we are. We slightly disagree, but a bare recommend from you, a non-recommend from me. Make of that what you will. Let's go to comments here, starting with, oh, wow, what is this?
Oh, hey, from, let me look at the big thing. From Narf Metmorn, for 50, do we remember what that was?
No.
Okay, 50 something. I'm pretty sure whatever that is, it's worth more than the US dollar. Hey, let me grab it. Okay. Hey, Alan and Robert, happy birthday. What shocked to hear about what happened to you and your stuff in Las Vegas. I was one of the pervs in the bar. Oh, I remember that. Who bought the celebrity poop book. Want to pay again for it here. Some more for Alan's new PC.
Thank you so much. Well, you're lucky you got one because they were all stolen. So, including the money from that night, which was stupidly left in the car. So, but I appreciate it.
But if someone had told me there was large sums of cash in my car,
you in a text.
You didn't tell me.
We had that discussion.
You didn't tell me. You want to have this conversation again?
No, let's not.
Because if you had told me, I would have taken the money in.
I thought you just do what I said. Move the stuff, whatever. I'm not going to dwell on the past.
Just saying, if you're going to put money in my car, tell me you put money in my car. All right, let's move on.
Let's move on. It's all good, man. Whatever. Water under the bridge. Let's go ahead, Alan. Thanks.
All right. Some of the behind the scenes here. I filmed that from Phil Gone. We've been saying that for 10 minutes.
Saying what?
I forget. I don't know. From Torvictus. Any shocking twist? Was Ryan Reynolds dead the whole film? Was the main Grimace really the new iteration of Grimace?
There's not a shocking twist. There is a twist that you can see a mile away.
Movie. It's a kid's movie twist.
You can see it coming from a mile away.
Yeah, I figured it out. Really. From Jim T. Does Snuffleupagus make a cameo? No. For a super chat, Spade 2187 for $4.99. Thank you. Hey guys, great to see Chris is getting better. Kind of giving me the Santa Claus vibe. LOL.
Yeah, I don't know. Do I keep this going or do I get a haircut and trim this thing?
I don't know. I
mean, lose it all together.
I kind of like the idea of you taking pictures with kids during Christmas.
Sure, Alan.
From Portland 182. Sounds like Bing Bong from Pixar's Inside Out. From Mob 19001. My if is Sydney Sweeney. And I'd hate to think what you do to your ifs. From Chelsea M. Sounds like this movie took a page from Disney Pixar as far as tugging at the heartstrings. Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, yeah, I think you talked about tearing up. I certainly did at the end.
Yeah, I got a little choked up. I have to admit.
All right, Benjamin Cowell was the dad the whole time. From name to fluster Alan. I don't get that. Cal sounds like Stranger Danger. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing throughout the whole film.
Yes,
why is she hanging out?
Why is she, hanging out with Ryan Reynolds?
Mm-hmm.
A little kid has an adult friend. It was very strange. Very strange.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, touching grass with my the cold dead hands. Ryan Reynolds fatigue is happening.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still looking forward to Deadpool. Chris Hill. All the monsters are AI generated, right?
Oh, by the way, Deadpool 3 tickets on sale Monday.
Oh, okay.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I'm telling you now.
I'm pretty sure we'll get invited to an early screening though.
We'll see. And Nicholas Vargo, I saved this. Thank you, Nicholas.
Right. Yes, I know you wrote this a long time ago. Let's see. Saw If last night. Don't care what anyone says. I laughed and I cried. Krasinski knows Walt Disney's mantra: for every laugh, there should be a tear, and he succeeded well. Yeah, I think that's why I give it a bare recommendation.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, Nicholas. That's fair. Like I can't deny it did get to me. The scenes with the daughter and Krasinski, like that hits.
Yeah, that last scene with them.
Yeah,
and
true.
Yeah, and I think this is a safe movie to take kids to as well.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. Good job, Alan.
Hey. There we go. And I have no notes.
Agree. We didn't agree, but what can you say?
Yeah. I don't think we're too far off though.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're going to pivot to another review.
You make me happy.
Let's do The Strangers. Chapter 1. A movie that I saw that Alan has not seen.
Yep.
Now, The Strangers is... there was a 2008 movie called The Strangers, which is effectively the same, the same basic premise. It's a rental, an Airbnb, or what they call a scare B&B. A couple stays at an Airbnb under weird circumstances. There are creepy people in creepy masks that are trying to kill them. I just told you the whole plot of The Strangers Chapter 1, which, by the way, I only found out after I saw the film. It's part 1 of a 3-part series. Thankfully, it's only 90 minutes. And the movie starts out with this. It's actually kind of cool. There's a quote. It's something like, I wrote it down, like 1.2 million acts of violence happen in the United States every year. 1 every 26 seconds. 7 have happened since the start of this film. This is one of those stories. That's how the movie begins, which got a good laugh. And oddly enough, the screening I was at, which was the first screening of the film at 6:00, packed. It was packed. And obviously horror fans, hardcore horror fans, I do horror. And the movie does have that sort of A Quiet Place vibe where things are very quiet. Things are very quiet. Oh, she's in the shower now. Oh, she doesn't see the guy standing right there with a creepy mask on. There's a lot of that. So this couple is on a road trip, comes to a small town, car breaks down. They have to stay overnight at an Airbnb. They stay at the Airbnb and everything seems to go wrong. The guy has an inhaler, which he leaves in the car. So he has to drive back to town on a motorcycle to get the inhaler to, so he's okay. She's alone in the house by herself. And I will say, I have to admit, those scenes got to me. I mean, it was creepy and good creepy. So, and it worked. And there are just frightening moments. But in my opinion, not enough of them. So in the masks themselves, there's like 3 masked characters, 2 that I think are girls, and 1 big imposing guy. The masks are great. They really nailed it on the masks. Frightening, scary, and the tension builds are good, but it's also frustrating. You see this film, and you're like, okay, now they have a shotgun. They get a shotgun somehow. And you're like, okay, use it. And you're stuck in this. What would I do in the situation? I'd just be waiting with a gun, and I would shoot and or injure and or end the life of whoever's coming my way. I don't care. But it puts them in situations where you're like, oh, why don't you just come on? Why don't you just? And then they don't. And then a lot of moments of standing around and someone is sitting there in the background, but they don't see them. Look at the right, turn around, look behind you. Behind you. Oh. That's what it was like watching the whole movie. Now, I can't say I didn't enjoy a lot of it. Like, it was kind of fun, you know? But it's because I didn't know it was like, this is like 3 parts. What? I felt they were holding back answers. And so it was a little frustrating. I will say a mild recommend for me. So I give it a 6 out of 10. But and I am interested. It didn't end on a cliffhanger, but it ended on there's more to the story. And I don't really know if it's connected to the old Strangers movie. I don't even remember that from 2008. That was, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It was Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman.
Yeah. I'd have to go back. I mean, the only connection seems to be the premise and the masks.
Yeah, I mean, it's like was that movie such a success that they had to not only redo it, but now make it a 3-parter?
I don't know, but it's also directed by Rennie Harlan.
Yeah,
who is not really known for movies like this. It's more like big action movies. I mean, he did what? Die Hard 2, other stuff like that. Like, yeah. So, overall, like, I enjoyed it while I was watching it because I like this type of movie, but it's not for everybody. Hardcore horror fans only. And, it's a mild recommend, just barely for me.
So you are not excited to see chapter 2, but you're intrigued.
Oh, I'm going.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going.
I mean, I don't know. I look at this and I'm like, does it? I'm not sure. I'm inspired by the fact that I don't know. Is it setting up chapter 2 well enough, or is it just? I don't know. I don't get the sense that
setup.
Mm-hmm.
There is a setup, but I want answers, and I felt a little cheated with like, we're just going to end it here. There is a post credit, so stick around. But I thought it did the tension well, and that's what I give it credit for. More than anything, the thing I liked about the movie, they just kept repeating, and they did it well. The masked, creepy people. But I want answers. I want to know who they are, and I want them to die. I want them to pay for their crimes. So, mild recommend if you like this type of movie. If you don't like this type of movie, don't waste your time.
Yeah, I'm not seeing this.
You have to pre-like it. So, there you go.
Okay.
Let's see.
It's a slasher film. That's what it is.
That's exactly right.
All right.
Here we go.
Yeah. Pick one.
There we go, Alan.
All right. Let me. Okay. From just Nova. Just Nova 1138. Sorry, I need to wear glasses. For $4.99. Glad you're back and recovering well, Chris. After my stroke, I grew a beard too. No homo. A new badge of honor. Cheers.
Thank you for that.
All right, from MK Solid 82 for 4.99. Thank you, guys. I just want to say, if Sydney Sweeney makes a Barbarella remake, she will become the next Sharon Stone and then some.
Oh my God,
I'm
that
looking forward to that.
news is amazing. That news is amazing. About Barbarella.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't Jane Fonda like naked through most of that movie?
Well, at least in one scene that I remember. Like,
Okay, think of another movie then that she did.
Google Barbarella. Click on Google Images. There.
I'm talking Raquel Welch, by the way, not Jane Fonda. Am I right? Where am I?
Jane Fonda Barbarella.
Okay.
You've been gored.
No, I got it right the first time. I've known I can't research anything right now. All right.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
But yeah, I'm into it. All right. And okay, from you're jumping around. From let's see, Stephen Jordan for 4.99. I hate CGI. Watched one of my all-time favorite the other night for the night, the first Aliens with my wife. Scared her to death. That was movie magic.
Yeah, speaking of movie magic, there's the new Nicole Kidman thing at the AMC. And she ends it with saying, "It's magic." And I'm trying to think of a good thing to say.
Say,
like,
where did this rabbit come from?
No. When I say other people in the audience, never me, I would never do this. People in the audience would say, "Are your nipples hard?" And then Nicole Kidman says, "They are." And the audience would burst out laughing. Okay. They don't run that promo anymore.
My impression is they just edited down the original.
They did a shorter one, and at the end she said, "That's magic." I can't think of a response to that. Can you guys think? Chat, question for the chat. What is a good setup for Nicole saying that's magic?
I would say it's the three of clubs.
What are you talking about?
Or where did this rabbit come from?
That's not good, Alan. You need something as good as, "Are your nipples hard?" They are. You need a good setup where she says it and the audience laughs. Okay. Any suggestions, please highlight them in the chat. The best ones. We're going to read them. Let's keep going here. Right. Starting from the bottom.
From Narf Methorn, from member for 1 month. Thank you. You're back. Grow the beard a few more inches and become a beard model, or at least go from imitating Robert to Gary.
I'll work on it. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. From all twisted up. Strangers was completely blah. If you saw the first one, this is a carbon copy or carbon Cody. Took no chances on the cookie cutter. On this cookie cutter. Carbon copy. I know what you meant.
There you go.
All right. From MK Solid 82. I don't like the torture movies.
Yeah, it does. In the second half, it gets very torture porn. So, yeah, avoid.
Yeah. Okay. From Professor Fear, 2 Stranger Danger movies in a row. That's right. One turned out better than the other. Yeah. Nicholas Vargo, Irony. It's directed by Rennie Harlan, and he's planning to direct the other 2. For the record, hate this franchise, zero interest, and I happen to like horror, just not this kind.
Fair. That's like saying, do you like pickles? I don't. So I don't eat pickles. I, for one, love pickles.
Yeah, it's these home invasion type movies. Like, isn't the original Purge a home invasion movie? The first one?
The first one. And then they go off the rails.
Yeah. From Dominic Zelenik, The Strangers, Chapter 1, Part 3, Section A, Subsection 3.2. Please stop. Donut Lord, tell me about the shower, Chris. What color is it?
What?
Yeah, do we get some nudity in the shower?
No.
Ah,
There's a shower scene.
why?
Yeah.
Why?
Very demure. Very demure.
All right. From Rumble, from AD Ellis, the original Strangers film is still one of the best modern horror films.
Well, there you go.
And you don't even remember it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, these are okay. We're gonna get to those in a sec.
Okay.
So there's a poll. There's a poll. Should Chris keep the beard? 75% say yes. 25% say no. I believe in democracy. I don't think this was rigged. I'm gonna keep the beard. You have decided.
I know.
You have decided.
Yeah, you
Thank
know what
you,
it is?
Atomic Glory. Thank you, Atomic Glory, for doing that poll.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Love it.
What I want to
We
see
are
in San Diego is what I want to see in San Diego is you and Gary cosplaying as ZZ Top.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I'll get that far, but there you go.
Let's see. Frantina Guzman, I voted no. It's really your choice, Chris. And let's see. Chelsea M, how do you still have a job in Hollywood? It's magic.
Oh, yeah. These are the suggestions.
Yeah. You want to save
How do you
those?
still have a job in Hollywood? I like this one right here.
Oh, from Touching Grass with My Cold Dead Hands. How about a one-night stand with Channing Tatum? It's magic. What's that smell? It's magic. I just finished. It's magic.
And then a generous from Truth Seeker American for 10.
Yeah, thank you.
Just sends in 10. Well, we appreciate it. That's awesome. Okay, one last thing here.
Oh, how does Disney get away with its bookkeeping? It's magic.
That is, these are good. Oh my God. We have to, we'll do something in the comments, the little community tab, and we'll get more suggestions. So, yeah. Oh, here we go. Right here.
All right. And a Razor Burn, member for 5 months. Chris, I voted for keeping the beard, but a suggestion, make the beard into a goatee. Unleash the evil Chris Gore with the world. Evil Spock rules. I don't know about that goatee.
I used to have a goatee back in the day. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, you go for the Fu Manchu or the Van Dyke. Okay, Jim Eagle, how did you get HIV? It's magic. Brock Samsonite says it's magic. Me, Johnson. It's magic, Johnson.
I'll put something in the community tab because I want to see a list of these, and then I will try them out in the theater. Every time. No, I'm serious. Yes. I will yell it, or someone who isn't me will do it.
Is there a pause that comes before it?
There's a beat. So there's time to say something. I think, I really believe this. They changed that video because people are yelling crazy shit. Not me, but other people.
Well, I think also it'd been well over a year. I think it'd been 2 years. And, it's too long. That original video is too long.
They need a cut down version.
And they gave it to us. That's the cut down version.
They did. So there you go. All right. Something real quick here. I would love to talk to you about the Blue Angels, which I was in the theater during the 45 minutes where they tried to fix it. So I will have a Blue Angels review next week. I'll try to see it. But yeah, it's so, but I think it's out of theaters. It's only in theaters for like a week.
Mm-hmm.
So it's in IMAX. Go see it in IMAX. What I saw, chef's kiss, looks great. Didn't see the whole movie because of technical problems. So
yeah, I believe you can only see it in IMAX.
Yes. Yeah, so limited release. Check it out. There you go. All right. Our last film today I think. No. Is it? Yes.
Yeah.
Woo! Okay, Alan. Oh my God. Go for it.
Okay, so this was the Mystery Movie Monday at Regal. And you told me about it, and I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. And this is what I got. So, babes, we have Ileana Glazer, Michelle Buteau. Let's see. Michelle is pregnant. Her character is pregnant, about to give birth. Michelle and Ileana's characters, they're best friends. And she's kind of sensing that there's a separation between the best friends because Michelle is having a family, having a baby, and Ileana Glazer is on her own. So after a one-night stand, she gets pregnant herself, and this movie is about that pregnancy. It takes us from start to finish. It deals with the friendships between her and Michelle's character. And all hilarity ensues. There's a lot of everything disgusting that you can associate with childbirth is in this movie. Weirdly enough, I think Michelle's character is disappointed that the Ileana Glazer character didn't have an abortion. But it's all about friendship. And this is one. I will say this. This movie is not made for me. But the people in my audience were laughing hysterically about this movie. And a lot of them, I believe, were mothers who identified with everything that Ileana was going through in this movie, pregnancy-wise. And I'll start off our conversation, Chris, with the phrase that you coined, hot phobic.
Okay. I don't know that I will dislike a movie more this year than this movie. This movie features it's sort of a romantic comedy. It's a girl romance. Like, they say bromance. Mm-hmm. This is the girl version of a bromance. Because the two leads are best friends who love each other, their family, but this is full on progressive porn. That's all this is. Super progressive politically, she's gonna have a baby, and oh my God, the husband in the movie,
Hassan Minhaj,
he's so irritating. He's such a wimpy dad, basically a slave to the wife. Both of them are, I could have told if Sydney Sweeney was in this movie, think, all right, at least she's good looking. This is two really unattractive women for nearly 2 hours. Oh my God. And I had the same experience. My audience that I saw this with loved it, cracking up. But the humor is about things like vaginas, periods, vomit, urinating, pissing your pants, pooping your pants. How many more topics can they cover?
Yeah.
I mean, Alan. Ugh.
There's you could hear the pitch for this, where Pamela Adlon, who directed it, says we're going to do something amazing. We're going to cast normal people in this movie. In fact, we are going to go out of our way not to cast a single attractive person in this movie, and that's what they did. Because all the way through, it's like, wow, what a mid person, what a plain person. Look, I'm surrounded by people like that. That's my life. Go to a Thursday meetup. Sorry.
Shut up, Alan. What are you saying here?
I'm sorry. That's just a joke. All right. But yeah, it just caught me thinking why we like going to movies. We like movies are in a big way aspirational. We want to see people who are not us. We want to see people who are better than us, slightly better than us at a minimum. Is this becoming a trend? Are we gonna see? We can't have attractive people in movies anymore.
I mean, and also just it's supposed to be a comedy. You should be funny. There was one funny thing in the movie that I thought worked for me.
Okay. I remember. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, tell me yours.
No, I remember laughing once, and I don't remember what it was.
Well, the thing that made me laugh was the doctor. His hairstyle changed every time she saw the doctor. He was like, "I'm trying out something new," and it was just bad. His hair was always bad, so he was trying out new hairstyles. But oh my god, I loathed this movie. It was like it's like the female version of Bros.
Yeah.
You know, it was just, and the fact that every subject for humor was something horribly disgusting.
Yeah.
Was, I mean, I guess this is for women only.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't imagine a man seeing this movie and laughing.
No, it's not for us. This
fine.
movie is not for men. The comedy is annoying as hell. This is progressive comedy. It's riffing. All of these two do is they talk and they talk and they talk and they say whatever comes in their mind that's weird, and they have to just blurt it out, and it's just not funny. The other thing is look, okay, so this attractiveness thing. What I walked away from with this movie was, I don't want to see a movie where I see myself in the movie. I want to see people who are more attractive than me in this movie. The other thing is, this is, I don't know any people who act like this, in the sense of everyone in this movie is super supportive of one another. No one has a bad thing to say to another person. If something goes wrong, it's like, oh, you know, you're the queen, you know, and I'm like, who affirms people this much anymore? Have they ever? You know, I have friends who, you know, we like to bust balls, and at times we like to encourage one another. You know, this is just, to me, not real. I don't know people like this, and in fact, if I knew people like this, I'd want to run.
Yeah, and even the way that she gets pregnant, she has a one-night stand with a guy who's an actor. You know, and he ends up, it's like a liberal white woman's dream.
Mm-hmm.
She has a one-night stand with a black gentleman who ends up dying tragically,
A day
and
later.
she decides to have the baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's so, I just was cringing. What made it worse was the audience laughing, and me sitting there in my chair. I'm like this the whole movie. I'm like, why? And I have another unseen screen movie to see on Monday. I gotta stop going to these. All of the unseen screen movies are shit. They're movies that, well, hopefully someone will show up because you get to see it early. I don't know what the movie is for Monday. You can find out on Reddit. Reddit, like a little before, will reveal what it is. But oh my god, I mean, this is a 0 out of 10 for me. 0. And the two girls, this being so unattractive, at least make one attractive, and then the ugly funny friend. I'm okay with that. Ugly funny friend is a trope, sure. And then you have hot. This is just whatever. And Michelle Buteau she's as large as a truck. She's huge. She's huge in the movie. You're like, how is Hassan Minaj with this girl, this woman?
It can happen. I'm just saying.
I guess
this is where this is where we get clipped, and where we go viral.
Oh, we're canceled from this review. But it's literally liberal white woman porn. What is what this movie is? It's like the dream, and they're also perfect. They're also perfect. I couldn't stand it. This movie gave me a headache. It was bad. Maybe I had another stroke during this movie. That might have happened. But avoid like the plague, unless you want to vomit.
Oh my gosh.
Alan, what's your final? I give it a 0 out of 10. I won't see a worse movie this year. Alan?
I mean, I'll give it a 2. I'm being generous here.
That's high for you.
That's right. But it's like, oh my God, I hope this isn't the trend in movie making. Because it's the, it goes to this woke idea of, everyone has to, look normal. And this is the definition of normal, this movie. And I'm like, okay, let's say it is normal and that this is what everyone in the world looks like. I don't like it. I want to go back to the way things used to be. Can we go back? Can we, I'll say this. In terms of, I don't know, except for this, I don't feel like it was a woke movie.
Are you kidding? Yes, it was.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
You had the baby for one thing.
Well, yeah, except for the fact that she had the baby.
Yeah. And I think Michelle was disappointed that she didn't have the abortion.
Yeah, which was weird.
Yeah.
So I'll just say, if you've seen the latest cover of Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, have you seen it?
You have, yes. Are you gonna?
I try to find it. I can't find it. Anyways, that's what.
Look at Dante's X feed. His Twitter.
It's ugly people. I don't want to see ugly people. I just don't. I don't. Yeah, where's Dante?
I know. It's like, to say that is you fear getting canceled. That you just want to see pretty people from now on. And it's like, well, that's the way it's been for a long time. And maybe the experiment of going the other way isn't working. And maybe we were right all along the first time.
Yeah, it's just, oh my God, I can't. Dante tweets a lot.
Yeah.
He tweets.
I'm pretty sure I saw it on his. That's the first time I saw it.
Yeah. It's on his feed somewhere way down. I'll find it at some point. Anyways, not a recommend. A 0 out of 10 for me. 2 out of 10 for you. Let's go to the chat comments and questions.
I mean, I will say this. I think people are going to watch this movie.
Go ahead, Alan.
All right. Yes. Hold on. Let me. There we go. From Grim Patalkin. Graham Patalkin for $2. Thank you. Beard makes you look like Riker from Picard.
Season 3. I'll take it.
All right.
Thank you.
Leo Cody for 2. Al, you got another Gourd coming. Which one was
another
that?
Gourd coming. Sounds good.
Which one was that? Okay. Brock Samsonite, what has Disney lost? Nicole, it's magic.
She says that's magic.
Oh, that's magic.
That's magic. Yeah.
Okay. Touching grass with my cold dead hands. This looks about as funny as a colonoscopy. Felt as comfortable as a colonoscopy. Brock Samsonite, oh boy, an even more butch version of Baby Mama. Oof. Yeah. Wes Ray, the poster for this movie even looks insufferable.
True.
Sir Dirty Dog Babes doesn't look like crap at all. Suns and Shadows, give me Look Who's Talking instead. Leo Cody, this should be called Trolls. Oh, we're getting so canceled on this one. Benjamin, can't we have hot chicks in movies?
Yeah, it was called Madam Web.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Madam Web was better. Let's just say that. Beersaurus Rex, I'm surprised there's even a husband, if that's progressive. He is a very supportive husband.
If it's that progressive. So.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Davina Duckworth. Chris wants to see the baby feeders.
Yeah.
Yes. The boobies. But would you? Do you in this movie?
Wait. I got something for you. Hang on. Here we go. Thank you, Atomic Glory. Here you go. Babes. 1994, 2024. What we want, what we get. There you go. That's it. That's the Babes movie in a nutshell. Wow.
Yeah. Remember what life was like in the 90s?
It was we didn't know what we had in the 90s
until we lost it.
We didn't know. Wow. Thank you, Lori, for finding that. That's great. We have a lot of people on Rumble. I want to say hi to everyone on Rumble. It's like 900 people.
Oh, wow.
And 150 on X. Hey, X.
Yeah.
Hey, X. How's it going, X? Watching us. I guess you can comment on X too.
What a boomer.
What do you mean?
Nothing.
It's Twitter. Always will be.
Yeah.
All right, more comments.
All right. From Marcos CC 565, DEI knocked up. So the DEI version knocked up. From Matt Bookish bastard. Chris couldn't even get a stroke out of this movie.
A different stroke.
Yeah, you got a stroke already.
I know what you meant.
From Mob 19001, another Amy Schumer monologue movie.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. From Bill Peschel. So that's how they quantify as normal ugly people. Uncle Remus and Hollywood can't figure out why they are going down the tubes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so obvious.
Yeah. I mean, is this the next Barbie? Because clearly it's not for men.
No, this is going to go down the toilet.
All right. From Rumble 80 Ellis. Hey, 80. So grown women now have the same sense of humor as 12-year-old boys did 20 years ago. How typically progressively regressive. Donut Land. Hollywood is saying the agenda out loud. Babes, and then putting two unattractive females on the poster.
Yep.
Benjamin for $2. Thank you. At least the new Juliet is as hot as hell. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. She just isn't attractive. You know?
Yeah.
Is that bad to say out loud?
Yeah, it is, but sometimes we have to say those things.
Yeah.
I mean, the economics of it. Who's buying a ticket to that?
Yeah.
I mean, are enough people that are into that going to shell out money, and is it going to make some money? Let's see. Oh, Suns and Shadows. You're moving around for $10. Thank you, Chris. I don't want to add to your hoarding, but Battle Beyond the Stars. Do you have that NECA figure? I keep hearing your love for the movie. R.I.P. Roger Corman.
I don't have the NECA figure. I watched that movie 2 days ago. I was like, I love the score, and I was like seeing these videos pop up of a Rebel Moon and how bad it was. And I was like, I wanna see Battle Beyond the Stars again. Literally watched it 2 days ago. So good.
Yeah, we're not evolving storytelling. We're evolving special effects, but not storytelling.
The score is good. The characters. I mean, it was just a better version of Rebel Moon. Thank you, Suns and Shadows. Yeah.
Where did you see it, by the way? Did you see it on some?
No, I bought it. I have it.
Okay.
So I own it. And I was like, sitting around out. That music, score. Chef's kiss. And the ship, the main ship in it, what's the ship's name? Nestor is the name of the ship. Nestor looks like the original ship from The Mandalorian. So there you go. Thank you, Suns and Shadows.
Absolutely. Let's see. From Aurora Uplinks, member for 3 months. Thank you. Film idea. Cruise ship captain has to deal with divorce, and the wife to get back to him takes a cruise on his ship with the worst women he can find.
Yeah. There you go. Here we go.
All right, from Nicholas Vargo. I am a guy, and I laughed. Maybe I'm easy to please, but I think it also helps if you like Ileana Glazer's show Broad City. Unpopular opinion, I know.
I never saw Broad City. I saw trailers for it, and I knew I would not like it.
Did you see the Amazon A League of Their Own?
No.
Oh, yeah. Just take the movie and make it woke, and that's A League of Their Own. From Chelsea M, you took one for the team, Chris, and for that we thank you. Fortunately, it only cost us $5. From Uncle Remus, bigger than Lizzo. Fear Sundown. Oh wait.
Sorry, Alan.
Okay, sorry. I
about
wasn't sure if you want to comment.
It's all good, man.
From Fear Sundown, hot take. I prefer the older, low-budget FX movie FX. When remastered, they look great.
Yeah, it looked really good, and the characters are great. John Saxon is really good. George Papard, he's literally just, his character's name is Cowboy. He's just Cowboy. He's a space trucker, and the characters are really different and defined and likable. Go watch your homework assignment. Go watch Battle Beyond the Stars. Watch it.
And then watch Babes.
No, don't watch Babes.
Professor Fear. Heck, Battle of the Network Stars was better than Rebel Moon.
That would be great. Battle of the streaming stars.
Oh yeah, Netflix versus Amazon versus Disney Plus.
Woo!
Razorburn. George Papard was great in Battle Beyond the Stars, and the A-Team. Manila. Manila. Blockbuster would have those in the clearance bins.
Technically, the Avatar, it's Minya. Who is Minya, Alan?
Minya is the little Godzilla, baby Godzilla.
I'm happy you know that.
Yeah,
you would have been a dishonor to your family if you did not know that.
Oh, really? Again, that's not how that works.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm not Japanese. All right. Fear Sundown.
Oh, it's okay.
Excuse me. Fear Sundown. Older movies executed more efficiently, didn't need overcooked backstory. And I got your figure from Shot Factory, running out of room.
Nice. Thank you. That's awesome.
All right. From Don Mack. James Horner's music score for Battle Beyond the Stars is so good. It got reused by a bunch of other 80s genre movies.
Yes, including the Fantastic Four. The Roger Corman Fantastic Four used that score. I know because I have a bootleg of it. So,
all right. Aurora Uplink says, I actually want to get the money to fund your YouTuber movie, where YouTubers are grudges, or YouTubers with grudges.
You are completely. Can you read the words on the screen?
I can barely read the words on the screen. Where YouTubers with grudges are forced to do a movie together as a joke. For some reason, my dyslexia font is not working.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Something happened with Chrome where it reset everything, and every time I turn it on, it immediately shuts off. So I'm struggling here. And the reason I have dyslexia font is because I am dyslexic. Let's see. Moving on.
So it's great. You're dyslexic. I had a stroke.
Yeah.
It's like the disabled review show.
I know. Two great tastes that go great together.
Yeah, yeah. And hey, thank you. Bush and Ryu Cat became a member.
Yeah, and not only that, Bush and Ryu Cat for 10 says, Holy Moses, Chris, you sound like yourself again. 2 bits of Blu-ray news. 1, Purple Rain is finally coming out in 4K with lots of bonuses. And 2, holy shit, that G-1 4-disc 4K HD collection, no English subtitles, though.
Oh, is that the Japanese release? It must
Probably.
be.
There's no
Yeah, let
English
me know.
dub.
Like, I have my Dune Part 2 4K arriving today, Amazon says. So I have plans tonight to watch all of it,
Mhm.
all the extras anyway. But yeah, it's I'm just waiting for the US release. Yeah, I've seen pictures of the Japanese release. It looks chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. I can't wait. Please. I hear it's coming in September. That's when the Godzilla -1 is coming out. So
Well, I hear the US version is just like the Japanese version, but with subtitles.
oh, let's keep going. We have a special guest showing up in a few minutes.
All right. Ata Takai P. Dyslexic. Sorry about your eating disorder, Alan. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Julia Marco. We are so inclusive on this channel. Absolutely. Yeah. Sons and Shadows gifted 5 Film Threat memberships.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you.
And welcome to everyone who joined. Be sure to join the Film Threat Discord server and head over to that community channel. Let's see, where are we? Alan, Professor Fear, Alan may be having a stroke. No, Alan's having a really hard time reading these things.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Alan, to force you
no,
to do that. It helps me out here. So
yeah, it's just something happened to Chrome, and it's making things more difficult. From Don Mac, did we read this one? Let's see, we'll just do it again.
Yeah,
James
we did read that one. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
We have our interview subject joining us very shortly, waiting in our digital green room. But I do want to remind people that a couple of things. One, go to shop.filmthreat.com. We have a lot of merch. Check out these shirts, are awesome. So many different styles. The one I'm wearing is right here. You can check that out. It's kind of cool. A lot of other, we have apparel, drinks. Look at this. I love this mug. That's my favorite mug. Also, a couple of things to remember here. We've got here, I want to remind you. So go to shop.filmthreat.com. Links in the description here. And then our interviews channel. Alan
it's there. My LeVar Burton interview is there. All right.
And Letitia Wright, all the interviews. So go to our interview channel. We also have a trailers channel. So there you go. Yeah. And there you go. All right. Alan might need you to help me out here. I got to take a quick break, but let's bring on our interview subject. He is the director of For Sale, a film now out on VOD. Here he is, Christopher Schrack. Hopefully I said that right.
You did say that right. How you guys doing?
Well, welcome to the Chris Army. Chris, tell us about your film.
So For Sale is it's an ultra low budget film that took us 3 years to make. It's a horror comedy. To me, it's a comedy with jump scares about a shady salesman that has to sell a haunted house. And it was a labor of love, ultra low budget film that featured a 2, sometimes 3-person crew. And it's out today on digital on demand.
All right. So how did the story come about? What was your inspiration for it?
The story came about because I spent some years working at a car dealership, and I found myself surrounded by some really interesting and unique personalities. And a lot of, and I'm not saying all salesmen are like this, but the salesmen that I worked with, there was an interesting level of do or die hubris that kind of accompanied their personalities. And, you know, the type of person who would go to any lengths to sell something. And sometimes it could be pretty comical. And somewhere during the pandemic, I was trying to find a way to do a feature, an ultra low budget feature, and I had the idea like, well, one of these funny characters had to sell a haunted house. So it kind of married my two, my love for horror films and the idea of putting a comedic element in it to bounce off each other and to just kind of see what would happen.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I assume you wrote it during the pandemic. In terms of what were the things what were the obstacles you had to kind of overcome, or the challenges you faced getting it actually into production?
Well, it was self-funded. So in some ways, self-funding a film makes it easier, but also makes it harder. It makes it easier in the sense that you're not sitting around waiting for investors, which can be a really long portion of the journey of trying to make a film. But it makes it harder because you only have a very small amount of money to play with. So the only way that I've been able to figure out how to make that happen is to just learn to wear as many hats as possible. And so that means not just writing it, but directing it, producing it, doing the cinematography, doing the editing, doing a lot of the visual effects. That way you don't have to pay for, obviously, all the crew members. So that, of course, makes it a big challenge. But it was, at least for that moment in time, the only way that I could get it made.
Go ahead, Alan.
No, go ahead.
Well, what were some of the challenges? I mean, that's wearing a lot of hats. That's indie film.
Yeah.
But what were some of the more specific challenges?
More specific challenges. I mean, also we had a very small crew. I mean, like I said, it's some was sometimes two people. Sometimes it was just me running camera and doing lighting, and then my brother who was running sound. And I mean, it's just a huge challenge in the moment, because you might be an actor might be asking you a question while at the same time you're setting up a light or attaching a lens, and at the same time you're getting text messages from tomorrow's location manager, and so you're doing all these things all at the same time. And so in the general sense, it just kind of, it requires you to you got to think producer, director, DP, producer, director, DP. And then the specific challenges were, when you're doing everything yourself, it's not just mentally taxing, but it's emotionally and physically exhausting. The cast is sitting around waiting for you to go, and you're setting up the lights and making sure the camera and everything is properly framed, and then you have to do it all again in between each take. So again, in certain regards, it makes the process a little quicker, because a traditional crew might take 15 to 20 minutes plus in between setups, and I could do it a little bit faster. But again, when you're doing it all yourself, it's exhausting.
Yeah, well, also tell us about, okay, it's one thing to make the movie. Now you have to release it. What was the journey to finishing the film and then getting a distributor to put it out on VOD, which it's out today?
Yeah, it came out May 7th.
Oh, okay, cool. So it's out and available to rent, buy, whatnot. Tell us about that journey, because that's a whole other animal.
Yeah, that is a whole other animal. I mean, it's funny, making a film, as you guys, I'm sure is like a marathon. And sometimes you kind of feel like you're like, okay, I'm on mile 25, I'm almost done. And then you reach that goal and you're like, oh no, I'm only halfway done, or I'm only a third of the way done. And so finishing up the film, post-production took a year and a half plus, again, editing myself. And then from there, we did a local premiere to kind of get the feeling out, kind of get some immediate reaction, what kind of things are working, what kind of things are not, what can be adjusted. And then we did a little festival run, which was fun. We got into some cool festivals, we picked up some awards. And then the journey to get it distributed really helps to have a sales agent. And I had worked with a particular sales agent years ago, and got in touch with him, and he was able to get it sold to Gravitas Ventures, and they were able to put it out to all the platforms that's available at today. So Apple TV, Amazon. Um, it's still a big journey, even when you just get distribution, because they send you a 4-page list of all the assets and breakdowns that you need to give to them. Again, you like right then you feel, oh, I got distribution, I'm almost to the end, and
Yeah.
then it's like, no, I'm not. I've got another month and a half of work to do, of going through the sound mix. Okay, how do I do a 5.1 surround sound mix? Now I've got to create individual stems of all the audio. I've got to do all these checks. I've got to do all this metadata. So that's an enormous undertaking too. So really, the whole process just kind of feels like it's a never-ending one.
Yeah.
And you just, you know what, you just keep going. It's frustrating, but it's just problem solving. The whole thing is making a film is solving 50,000 problems, and you're just like, okay, well, I've solved this many, so what's another few more problems?
And then you have to have your film QA'd, right?
Yes.
Everything's got to be QA'd, the sound, the picture. They don't just
Yeah.
let any movie release on VOD. There are certain benchmarks.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, well, so the way the distributor works is that they go through the iTunes QC, which apparently is the most stringent, tough QC that a platform has. And they're basically like, if it passes the QC on iTunes, then it's good to go on the other platforms. So yeah, we failed a couple times trying to get that sound mix ready, but we got it, and it's out.
that's normal. That's normal.
Yeah.
Hey, we have 2,000 people watching live on YouTube, X, and Rumble. We have a lot of questions. You want to take some questions from the audience?
Sure.
Well, this is a comment. Alan, I'm going to go through these.
Yeah. From Garfield's Bizarre Adventure for 5, bearded Chris greater than babyface Chris.
Well,
All
there
right.
you go.
Let's see, from Magna Defender 98 for 10. Thank you. Iger's favorite excuse for his failures is cool, even into 2024.
No, Koof.
Koof.
Wait, let's save
sorry.
that comment for later. That's
Yeah.
not a question for Chris.
I know. I'm
Here we go,
surprised.
right here. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
Chris.
Question for you from Solomon Thornton. Sir Christopher, love horror comedies. Looking forward to seeing it. Any advice for beginning filmmakers?
Advice for beginning filmmakers. All right. I used to make this mistake all the time, and I still see beginning filmmakers make this mistake. Don't spend so much time worrying about your camera or your lenses or your cinematography. Put all of that effort into writing the best screenplay that you can write. So again, when I was starting out, it was like, I need to get this camera, I need to get this lens, I have to have this level of production value. All that is good and important, but if everybody spent the amount of time that they spend on production value, if they took that same energy and time and invested it into really learning how to break down a script beat by beat, what marks you need to hit, when's your inciting incident, what kind of, how does the resolution pay off? Spend as much time as you can really getting that screenplay as best you can. And then I would also say, don't try to make a movie that you think the masses will like, because you're not going to please everybody. Just make the movie that you want to see. So if you were seeing a trailer before a movie in a theater, make the movie that when they make the trailer for that movie, that makes you go, yeah, I want to see that movie.
Mm-hmm. All right. From Caveat Ties over on Rumble, who did you use for distribution? I think you talked about
Gravitas Ventures. Yep.
And
again,
anyone,
I met them through a sales agent.
And anyone can approach them. You can just look up their website. You can approach Gravitas. and other companies like Indie Rights, or there's many out there for indie films like this.
Yeah. All right, Razorburn, question for Chris. Did you do any research such as exploring a haunted house or experience such paranormal activity?
Well, I hate to disappoint you. No, I didn't. We got lucky in finding an old house that kind of fit the bill. My research was really just being an avid horror movie fan, and what's going to scare me in a horror movie? What kind of things do I think are fun in a horror movie? So we before we actually went into the house is so old, and apparently was a house that was used in the Civil War that would take in wounded soldiers. So a lot of soldiers actually died in this house. So when we went into the house, we did kind of have this talk of like, what if we experience some paranormal activity? What are we gonna do? And my kind of opinion was just like, I don't have time for that shit. But it was actually a very calm, pleasant house. Again, back to my earlier point, my research was just loving and watching a lot of horror movies.
Was the house located near you? Was it in your town?
It's about an hour. It's about an hour and 15 minutes away from me.
Oh, okay, so not too bad. From ADS, how did you settle on the runtime for the film? Did the final cut include everything that was in the initial shooting script?
Your second question first. Yeah, the final cut does include pretty much everything that's in the initial shooting script, except for a few lines. There's occasional lines that were taken out here and there. The running time is just shy of 2 hours, which was longer than I wanted it to be. The script is about 90 pages. But when we had that first rough cut done, I was like, oh man, this is almost 2 hours. This is longer than I wanted it to be. I really kind of decided that it would have hurt the film more to cut it down to a 90-minute mark than it would be to just leave it the way it is. The story makes more sense the way it is. And so, initially my plan was that this movie was going to be a 90-minute movie, and it ended up being longer than that. And it was a choice to just kind of leave it as it is, because I do think the story functions better. You get more out of it. It makes more sense if it's left the way it is. That being said, that's a lesson I learned here. And the next script I write is going to be like 60 pages. Because the next one's going to be like an hour and 15 flat.
Cool. You're going to make up for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brock Samsonite, any tips on applying for film permits with the city?
Oh, just you can just email them, depending on where you are. That they can be. Whenever I've been needed permits, everybody I've approached has been pretty amenable.
I would say on that too, like if there are boards, they want you to come to their city.
Yes.
They want you to come to their state.
They'll give you incentive.
Yeah, there's incentives. So it's really, they will roll out the red carpet. You're going to hire people to work on this movie in our city or state.
Yeah.
They lobby you. So they're very amenable. So take advantage of that.
Yeah. And we didn't film in LA. This was filmed in Maryland.
Right.
So I'm sure it's much harder in LA.
LA and New York. That's where you want to stay away from.
Yeah. But also there's a scene in the film about 15 minutes in where Mason, the main character, is walking through a park. And since it was just two of us, we just did that guerrilla style. It was a public space. It was just, he's wearing a lavalier. It was me with a gimbal. It just kind of, to anybody watching, it just looked like a couple of guys goofing off. It didn't look like a major film production, but
just tell people you're an influencer.
Yeah, exactly.
This is for TikTok.
Yeah.
And then start
I used to
dancing.
tell people I was a student. If I had a police officer come up to me and say, "What are you doing?" I would say, "Oh, I'm a student at the university. We're just making a student short film." And they'd be like, "Okay."
Yes. Just say
I can't get away with that
film,
anymore, but
yeah.
For a long
Just
time,
say student film or TikTok, whatever. There you go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Professor Fear asks, "What were you working a day job while filming?"
Not filming. I'm a freelance cinematographer and videographer in my area. I'm in the Washington D.C. area, So I work on commercials and wedding videos and things like that. So again, as a freelancer, it was easy to just take the 3 weeks off and just do that. Yeah.
All right, and Patrick Lear wants to know what was the craft services like on a micro budget film? How do you feed people on a
good question? Good question. That's a tough thing to navigate. You find people who are really, really sweet and will make food for you, or if you happen to know anybody whose mom is like a caterer or something, throw them a few $100s and they will come by with a week's worth of food, which happened. So on this production, my wife was gracious enough to send us with 5 days worth of food. And we stayed in the house that we were shooting. We actually slept there. And so in the kitchen, the fridge would just be full of food. So, we have sandwiches for lunch, and then for dinner, there'd be tonight's game plan is, this thing that we can put in the oven or heat up in the microwave. And then, one of the co-producers on the film, his mom made a big meal that lasted us a week, and we just stacked the fridge. And I think there was maybe 1 or 2 days where we just decided to order out or something like that. But again, find people who will be gracious enough to cook food for you and take as much with you as you can.
A happy crew. You gotta have good food.
It's very important. Very important.
Yeah. All right. From a nerd far away, hail, Mr. Schrack. Is YouTube a good platform for getting an independent production scene, or is it better going straight for distribution?
I would say that depends. How big is your YouTube channel? Mm-hmm. If you have a YouTube channel with a lot of followers and you're already monetizing, I would say maybe just go through your YouTube channel. If your YouTube channel doesn't have that many followers, you don't have that big of a reach, try to go for distribution. You can also go for self-distribution, which I personally haven't done, but it was actually kind of the plan when we were first prepping for sale, that we were just like, let's just make it. We'll just do self-distribution. And I think you can go through an aggregator, like Film Hub, I think is an aggregator that's really popular these days. And again, I personally haven't done it, but from what I understand, it's easier than ever these days to get your film self-distributed, and you can get it on Tubi and Freevee and things like that, and you can get a lot of views that way. Yeah, so I would say it just depends on what you have at your disposal.
Right, and I would say why not do both?
Sure.
If you get on as many different platforms, ways for people to see it as possible, do it.
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely.
I would also mention, no matter what you choose, you still have to promote. You have to go out there and hit the bricks and promote your film.
You do, yeah. Well, I created a little Instagram page for the film, and we all put out big email blasts and got in touch with you guys and tried to get the movie reviewed as much as we can. So you do have to reach out, try to get some net. It's tough these days for a low budget, especially an ultra low budget film, to get a wide net, but just try to cast some net, and you'll get some people watching your film.
Chris, the movie is out now. For sale is on rental, purchase on VOD, everywhere. Any final thoughts or advice or things you want to say to our audience?
If the film sounds interesting to you, please check it out. It's on Amazon, it's on Apple TV, it's on cable VOD, and I just want to thank you guys for having me on. This was great.
Of course.
Absolutely.
All right, Chris, have a great weekend. Congrats on the movie. It's a huge accomplishment, and I wish you much success. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Cool. Take care. Later.
Bye.
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 Hey. Look at that. Wait.
There we go.
Hey,
I got
okay. That feels normal. Cool.
Yeah.
Final. Yeah. Hey, want to thank. There's still 1,700 people on YouTube watching. Like, thank you for sticking around. Sometimes people drop off during the interviews. Thank you to our audience for being interested. We will continue to bring you more filmmakers to answer your questions. because we want to inspire you to do your own thing. So there you go. And thank you for being patient with my, not 100% perfect talking. Right, Alan?
Yes, absolutely. No, I'm thinking about the super chat we didn't get to. So.
Oh no, we'll do it right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone. Really appreciate you.
From Magna Defender 98 for $10. Thank you. Iger's favorite excuse for his failures is Koof, even in 2024. Can Iger just shut up about Koof? The Koof has been over since 2022. You need to be low IQ if your go-to excuse is for a 4-year-old cold.
We'll be talking about more of that next week, probably Wednesday. Monday, we have a special show. I'm bringing in all filmmakers. We're going to talk about AI in Hollywood. Oh, I've got some amazing guests. I don't want to say who, but Versus on Monday, do not miss it. Yes. It will be epic.
And Versus is a good word for what that episode will be.
It's going to be, it's going to shock you. I'm just telling you, the lineup is, I'm putting together Chef's Kiss. Hey, and thank you to Terry, who gifted 5 Film Threat memberships. And there you go. And what do you got coming up, Alan, this weekend?
Nothing this weekend. I've gotten a bunch of pre-screeners, so I'm watching Jim Henson documentary. I'm watching the Beach Boys documentary, and also the Film Threat interview channels. You just saw there my interviews with LeVar Burton and Letitia Wright are up. Watch those. LeVar Burton, I got a good Star Trek question, and mostly about Picard season 3. Nice. But we talk about his show Reading Rainbow, and then with Letitia Wright, we talk about a movie she's in that's on a topic, immigration, that has been kind of going around the world here today, and we dance around it, but I ask her a very interesting question that she I think the answer is worth it. So check those out.
Yeah. I will. This weekend I'm going to Just Like Heaven. So you know what that is?
No, but it's a music festival. I know that.
It's a music festival in Pasadena. I have tickets, and I bought them back in January. So
who's performing?
Postal Service, among others. Phantogram, bands you don't know.
Yes,
I know them, but I'll be there. I'll be the oldest person there. So, or at least the oldest looking, maybe. I probably won't be, to be honest. So, but that's what I'm doing this weekend, and just chilling with my Dune 4K. My Dune 4K is en route. En route. I am like checking my door. I checked this morning. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
And you have your Dune man wipes.
Oh, I have my Dune wipes. Check my Instagram. Chris Gore on Twitter and X.
Yes, please check that photo out.
It's the same font as Dune, but it says Dude Wipes. Oh my God, that's hilarious. So there we go. Next week, good stuff coming up. So I want to thank you for your support. Everyone, I still keep getting letters, keep getting cards and letters. Thank you to everyone. I have a giant stack here of cards and letters from people. I am so touched. I can't thank you enough. So thank you for your patience with me. Thank you for all of that. Yes, you can send letters to Film Threat packages. Read the address, Alan.
At 5042 Wilshire Boulevard, PMB 1500, Los Angeles, California, 90036. USA.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And a final super chat coming in hot.
Yes, from Bush and Rio Cat for 5. Thank you. Damn it, Chris. Put together a watch along party we can sign up for. Battle Beyond the Stars, the new Star Wars.
We are considering bringing back the watch parties, but I have to be in better health. Probably not until the fall or late summer, maybe August. But Yeah. Once I am 100%, I estimate probably another 2 months. So there you go. You'll know when I can say you'll know when I can say prostitute correctly.
Yes. So every episode.
Yeah, give me the prostitute test.
Yeah.
So there you go. Thank you. And thank you to our mods, Lord Thoth, Latino Slant, Grid Iron Masters, and Atomic Glory and Ganuccio.
Yeah.
Thank you all. There you go. And that wraps it up today. Alan, do you have anything left to say?
No. I have one thing to say though.
What?
Let's get out of here.